All right. So welcome to part 2 of the Viliv N5 Open Live Review with JKK Mobile on umcportal.com. We've done the initial unboxing of the N5, and we've got JKK Mobile on the line. He's also in another live video window, which you won't be seeing if you're watching this recorded, but he's going to talk through his first impressions of the N5 while I load up some video tests on this one, which we're going to do later. Stay tuned. After JKK goes over his initial impressions, we've got a big bunch of questions from the people in the chat room, and we've got a good 100 people watching. Thanks to everyone for turning up, and there's a good 60 odd people in the chat room. Alright, JKK, over to you, sir.
Thank you. So, Viliv N5, and of course we have been playing with this quite a lot before, but this is now the real thing. I can really see that everything is, all the small things have been taken care of now. So when you grab it to your hands, it feels solid, smooth, and there is really nothing bad to say about the design, the hardware, the feels, and so on. It's great tool, feel and look like a device. I'm totally liking the feel and all the hinges and such. Now, when you start using it, of course, if you are new to UMPCs, there's a million things to learn. But if you are old timer like we are, of course, the first thing starts with the screen. 1024 by 600 is actually great on 480 screen when you're used to that. But with Windows 7, it's actually really easy to set it up to bigger DPI or smaller resolution to start with it. So it might be easier to start with like that. If you have previously used capacitive touch phones, the touchscreen will feel weird because it's resistive, which means you have to actually push quite a bit with a fingernail. So if you're just pressing the fingers, there's not much happening. But if you turn your finger like that, so the fingernail touches first, then it's easy. But you have to use some force. I would say this is something like 80 grams. This is not the softest ones. You have to use some force, so 80 grams maybe. Going down from the screen to keyboard, it's nice to use. There are some smaller keys. The K and L are smaller. On the first seconds, I was thinking that, come on, couldn't they be bigger? But actually now, when I started to use it, I don't anymore even notice that. Especially on thumb typing, this has been quite good for me. I'm only used this for a few hours, so of course tomorrow, after some 20 hours of use, I will do another video showing really my feelings and so on. So the keyboard feels good. Another thing that you first may think it's weird is the mouse buttons. So they are like any other keys on the keyboard. And they first, when you start using, they feel like there is no click as normal keyboards, but they actually feel okay after a while, so I have no problems. Same with the mouse. It's really accurate. It's easy to use. If you used any kind of mouse, it's okay. But again, missing the click there would be really cool to have the click there, like some other devices, because then you could use it with one hand. So that's something maybe for the pro version or something. But it's definitely a good one. Now, on the first things that I have encountered with it, one thing is that we have a hatch covering the stuff, so I believe this is the first one to go away, so I will be cutting it off because I don't like the hatches. But yeah, the hatch for the USB and the micro USB.
Okay, yeah, the cover. Yep, gotcha.
So, yeah, so I did the same with my S5, so I cut it away. But on the N5, it looks better. So even if you cut it, it doesn't look stupid. So I think it's goner. On the front, the mic seems okay, but there's only a headphones port, so no microphone or headset port here. So you have to use the internal microphone if you do Skype calling or whatever, or buy a USB headset. So this is headphones only, just like on S5.
Okay.
And again, could be headset port. I would prefer that. there is no issues at all on the first uses. Like I said, it felt first weird that the screen frame doesn't have any corners, so the same plastic touchscreen goes over the frame. So there's nothing really on the corners like on any other UMPC. There's corners where your finger stops. So, like Steve said, it might be easier with this device, this design, to go to the corners. But on the first run, it actually felt weird. But again, I'm starting to get used to that. So these are the first impressions. These aren't really anything to do with the review, anything to do with the actual use. Just the impressions, how it feels right now. So goodies all over. Something in your mind, Steve, about
you've had it for a few hours. Have you noticed any heat from the device yet?
It was a bit hot when I left it charging and doing the Windows updates, but then I took it away and it feels basically the same as N5.
All right, we'll watch that as we carry on. We're also doing a battery live test as we do this live review as well. So towards the end, we'll give some results.
It's warm, but it's been really on use now all the time. But it's not hot. Any noise? Someone asking on the chat room, and of course it's fanless, so nothing like that. But sometimes I have heard some kind of high pitch noise. You know, the CPU thing that sometimes happens on some devices.
Okay, yeah, it comes through the speaker sometimes, right?
Yep.
Okay, I have to watch that one as well.
But nothing to concern, nothing bad or anything. One thing about mobile users, the SIM card is under the battery, so you have to remove the battery to access that. Other than that, it's really easy. So if you are kind of person that constantly taking on and off the SIM cards, you have to remove the battery. Of course, hibernation is okay to do that, but just you to know you have to remove the battery. It's not a bad thing, I think, but I think if I can choose, I would rather have it with a hot swappable SIM card slot.
So you were talking about the screen edges a minute ago, and there does seem to be an issue, right, with the screen edges. Yeah. I can't. The plastic covering doesn't bend in far enough for you to easily select the top right corner, for example.
Yeah, it's the same issue with or a feature or whatever we want to call it, as many other UMPs, that the corners are a bit tougher, and this screen is actually now tougher than S5, so it's not as soft as S5. I just said that I think S5 is something like 60 grams, where this one is like 90, 80, something like that.
So it is a little bit hard. You're right. It is a little bit harder. Yeah. I'm testing it now, and I'm definitely definitely seeing that the top right is even harder than the rest of the screen.
You have to use more force, but like I said, after maybe an hour or something, I started to feel better with that. So actually, it felt easy. But again, when you have used many years other devices where the corners are like you can access the corner blindly because your finger stops on the corner.
Yeah, right.
So this just feels different. You have to learn to use it a different way. So, and that's mainly when you're closing apps. There is, of course, no issues with any other thing because there isn't any other thing. But it might. I would have to say we have to check this out tomorrow when we have used it more to see how it goes.
And bear in mind, this is a two-hand. It's going to be likely to be used in two-hand anyway. And like on the UMID, the only thing I really use the touchscreen for is scrolling in this manner with that finger.
That's the thing. And especially we have such a nice placement for the mouse. So if we install the right click scroller or whatever that software name was, then if you keep the right click on down, you can scroll with the mouse. So I have to find it while you are speaking on the next video, so we can test that. So I think that would be really nice with this device.
So let's go through some questions that came in from the chat channel, and then I'll do some video tests. For the people that are watching this video, this is the first time I've actually unboxed this device this evening, so you might have to bear with me as I do the video test. I'm not sure how it's set up. But anyway, first things first, get some questions done. So you mentioned the optical mouse pointer. You think it's good? I think it's good. I think it seems to be pretty accurate. And Jen of Pocketables has also said that in her review, so that's good. It's got a nice what's the word? Covers a good distance in one swipe, let's say.
Yeah, and it's adjustable, so you can do many things with that. Yeah. So that's good. Of course, like I said, if it had a click, then we could use it with one hand. But
that's true.
It doesn't.
Yeah, and no tap to click. You mentioned DPI, you've already been through that, and screen comparison with the BZ. So, in terms of... So my initial impression is in terms of contrast, it's actually a little bit better than the BZ. But
I tested outside on a sunlight, and it felt way better than S5 for some reason. Way better.
Yeah.
So there's some optical thing on it.
I don't think the resistive layer there's no mesh effect on that resistive layer. You know, you get that shimmer sometimes.
Yeah.
So they seem to maybe have chosen a different resistive layer. I don't know, or maybe it's the glossy cover on it. It's difficult to tell.
Yeah, but it felt way better on sunlight.
Looks very good quality anyway for a resistive touchscreen. Looks really good. Speaker, we'll talk about that in a minute. Keyboard we've talked about. Did you mention scissor type action versus click type action with thumbing? I wasn't paying attention.
No, I saved it because you said that we will talk about that later.
Yeah.
I have to start with that because this is scissor type, but this is really low pitch if we talk about scissor type things. So actually this might be the best compromise I've ever used.
Okay.
Could be even shorter, but way better than Humid.
Don't know. I would have to get the
You don't know?
Humid.
It's harder than Humid. Humid is softer in a way.
This seems pretty squishy to me. I'm going to have to side by side them. It's a much wider keyboard than the Viliv N5. So moving thumbs around is maybe a little bit slower than the N5. Come on, that's splitting hairs. But certainly the quality of the scissor action seems to be excellent. The question is, do you really want...
keys are not moving like on the many other things, like on the sharp networkers, especially all the keycaps are moving from side to side, and this is not doing that. So this is awful keyboard if you can do this.
I'm just going to do my first attempt. So the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. No errors. Good. That's a good sign. I usually make some sort of error on that. Seems pretty good.
I like it. The K and L, they are smaller, but I think I already got used to that.
Right. Screen tilt. So looks really good to me.
Yeah, it's good.
It's better than the modified BZ, which is the improvement over the M1, which had the screen tilt problem, and that's really good. That's to the point where you can almost be lying down in the sofa and use that kind of belly mode, where you flip the screen back and then just sit there with your chin on your chest.
It's good for both.
Yeah, that's good. And balance seems perfect. Not perfect, okay, at some positions there's a little bit of a wobble, but if you actually put it all the way back, it's totally solid. Yeah, okay, not bad. Right. So, you wanted to check something out while I do the video?
Yeah, I have to grab my SIM card from the other room, and I check if I can find that right-click scrolling software just to know it works. So, grab your video files. I have been playing some video files, and I was happy. I'm not the video guy here. Well, I'm the video guy, yes, but I'm not the perfect video frame rate seeking mi-fi guy-fi.
Yeah, and if truth be told, I don't watch a lot of videos on these devices, but I do like
But you do
I kind of know the technical stuff, and I know how it should be, maybe. Anyway, I'm maybe a bit more critical than you. Anyway, let's do that now. And so Jen of Pocketables was talking about the video, and she said she threw a load of stuff at it and everything worked. And the reason for that is twofold. So number one, Windows 7 over XP includes H.264 codecs, which is important because XP doesn't include H.264 codecs. You can only play, I believe, MPEG-2 and, of course, Windows Media Video on it. But Vista gives you H.264. I hope the home starter version does give you H.264. Maybe it doesn't, but I think it does. H.264, Windows Media Video, MPEG-2, and I think even you can play DivX out of the box. But we're going to test that now. So I've got my standard set of test files that I've just thrown over via a USB transfer, and we'll go and see what we can do to test those. Let's bring the camera in and make sure everything's angled correctly and zoomed correctly, and there's not too much glare. This is always a pretty difficult test to do live. I have a studio mic as well, which we can use to try and maybe give you an idea of the sound quality. So let's start.
The SIM card by doing that.
Okie doke. So I haven't done anything to set this up. Oh yeah, I said it was twofold. The second fold is that Viliv have included Cyberlink codecs. Now Cyberlink are one of the only companies that produce codecs which enable the hardware video acceleration on the Intel Menlo platform. So Intel Menlo platform can support 1080p for VC1, for H.264, for WMV, and MPEG-2, I think. Maybe not MPEG-2. But only if the correct codecs are in there, and the Cyberlink codecs really are well optimized for that. So let's try anyway. So I've got an H.264 here. It's a very basic H.264 file. We're going to play it through Windows Media Player, and it's just a trailer. Taking a few seconds to start up. Let's see if it starts. So first error, and this is the reason we do the live open reviews. Windows Media Player has stopped working. So let's see if we can work out what's going on there. Let's start that up again, and we won't send the error message, but we'll try and open that file again, see if we get that same error. And if we get the same error, I'll just try and check what that file is. Yeah, so that's crashed. Windows Media Player, and I just want to do a quick right click on that to see what sort of a file it was. I understood it was an H.264 file. Let's have a quick look. Can't tell, but it's VGA sized. It looks like it's an AVI container. Okay, let's take a step up. This is definitely an H.264 file. This is a 720p H.264 file, and double click on that, see if that one plays. I want to see if that one's going to crash the device. Oh, there we go, and that's, if I Alt Enter on that, that's full screen, that's 720p, it's about 4 megabits per second, and that is super smooth. That's really nice. Let's put the volume up, and let's see if we can get an idea of the sound quality as well. Pretty weak. Not loud at all. You wouldn't be able to listen to a podcast in the bath on this one, I tell you. It's not loud. Quality seems pretty reasonable. I'm just going to mic it up, see if you can hear it. It's even difficult to mic up here. Okay, you have to take it from me. The quality is reasonable, but it is super, super quiet. And I want to just double check that I have got everything set to maximum volume, including system volume, including application. Okay, did have the application volume set low. Okay, maybe you could listen to a podcast with this one in the bath, or the radio in the kitchen. And let's have a quick look to see what sort of CPU levels here. Nothing. Sitting at 35% CPU utilization. That's a 4 megabit per second file. Alright, next. Go to library. Let's go straight to 1080p file, and this one goes up to average about 12 megabits per second. It's a huge... it's not a pure HD file, not a pure HD 1080p, because it has been compressed a little bit, but it's definitely 1920 by 1080, and it's averaging around 12 megabits per second. And if we alt full screen that is super smooth. That is 100% super smooth. There's not... I can't even see any tearing on that. And that's the first time I've seen 1080p on the Menlo without tearing. Not only is the frame rate perfect, there's no tearing on it as well. That's really nice. Out of the box 1080p. Excellent. Well done, Viliv. Let me just check the CPU task manager. 70, 60, 30 right there. It's all being done in GPU. It's still sitting there at 40% CPU utilization. So that proves it's being done by GPU, which means battery life for HD playback is going to be good.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Back to the next one, because we've got some more here. I know some of you guys are going to be asking about MKV. So let's see what we got. Trying to find some decent ones. Right. DivX 4.5 megabits per second, and this is working, and it's super smooth. See, the audio is a bit louder on that one. Reasonable. Not as super quiet as I thought. That's really nice quality. If I can just turn off a couple of the lamps here so you can get an idea. Maybe a bit better contrast. And of course you won't be able to see the quality coming over on Ustream, unfortunately, but take it from me, that's 100% super smooth. Right. Let's go back. Library. A couple of others will do. I don't want to spend too much time on these. Whoops. What is that playing now? Windows Media Video 7.5 megabits per second. This one doesn't even play on a netbook. I'll be surprised if it works on this. So far so good, but let's wait till it gets to a high bitrate scene. It's not doing a bad job at all, actually. Yeah, that's not bad. 7.5 megabits per second. Windows Media Video 9 HD 720p, I believe. So far so good. Let's do one or two more. I wanted to find an MKV file. The Coral Reef Adventures, the one that we use as a test, is bound to work. Yeah, that's super smooth. 6.5 megabit per second Windows Media Video HD. And let's quickly go one or two more. Trying to find an MKV file. Doesn't seem to be finding it. So I go to my video directory. I know I've got an MKV. Let's see if Windows Media Player can play that. I don't know if it can. Oh, yeah, okay, but it's not decoding the multi-track audio, and its quality's not too bad. So there's a 6 megabits per second H.264 video inside there with multi-track audio, and that's bit jittery, that one. But that's with Windows Media Player. Those of you that know about MKV files won't be using Windows Media Player. You'll be using something else which is much more efficient. So the chances are that it's going to be pretty good for playing back MKV files. Alright, let's see if there's just one more. This is 720p downloaded from YouTube. Man, that's working perfectly. Fast forward that a bit. Yay, that's nice. Cool, so the story on the video side of things looks to be really good. That's gone through, apart from the MKV file, all the top end tests that we do on the UMPCs. So, well done, Viliv.
Yeah, it would be much better on that side. But then, the worst thing.
So,
Flash.
Over to JKK now, who's going to demo YouTube, which is...
Oh,
do you want me to do that? Yeah, okay. So
I'm actually setting up my 3G here, so go
okay,
I
don't even have proper browser set up here, so I'll have to try with default Internet Explorer, and then I'll probably have to install Flash as well. I haven't even got my Wi-Fi set up.
Okay, well then I can... Well, it's better to you to do it, because then we can record it too. So just set up the Wi-Fi.
Yep.
I'm playing with the 3G right now, and I can definitely see better reception here with the antenna out than antenna in. And actually, the place I am right now is not good for 3G. It's bad reception area.
So it's a good test.
Yeah, it seems exactly the same as any other Viliv device. So
it's good.
Strong and good, yeah. But here it's bad. In average, let's do the speeds test. So I don't think we get good results here. If I move to downstairs, it will be good. So I can do that later. But it works fine.
YouTube. Let's go straight to it. So 360p, which is the old low quality setting. Ooh. Wait a minute. I have to check what version of Flash I'm running here, right?
Yep.
Because this is the old Flash Player 10 and not 10.1.
Yep.
Okay, so really I should upgrade Flash before I do any of this testing.
Yep.
So, should we do that in part 3? So YouTube, because I obviously need to set some stuff up. You need to do... Have you got everything set up there? What you were going to test?
I'm playing with 3G right now, and people asking about the antenna stuff, and I can definitely see here when the reception is bad, I can see improvement with the antenna. So full 5 bars with antenna out like this, and when I put it back in, it's only 1 bar. But the reception right now, right here, is really buggy. So I think typically on these Viliv devices, you can fully use it in normal conditions with antenna in. And then, if you go to bad places, then just take it out. So that's a good thing, really good thing to have it when you need it. There's no GSM noise on the speakers like ever on other devices either, so that's cool. And we have phone functions.
Oh, good. So it's got the voice mode in it.
You immediately. Is your
my phone's
cell
here.
phone there?
Yeah.
Let me check your number and call you. So that's so funny. It's not a phone, but it's always fun to do this. So your number is oops, no, not that.
Alright, well after we've done the voice call, people in the chat room, get ready to ask some questions. We'll close off this part of the video. We'll take some questions from the chat, and we'll do a part 3 recording for Ustream where we'll answer the questions, and we'll do a few more bits and pieces. Still some other things to test, like startup time Firefox, for example, or Chrome. Maybe we get the chance to do SunSpider test. What else is there to do? Heat, noise, battery life. That will all be in part 3. You going to call me now?
Yeah, calling you.
Here we go. Hello, this is the
Hey, what's up?
Studio. It works.
It works fine.
How funny.
Cool. Man, I look cool with my phone. Wait, hold up. This way. Huh?
So that
Yeah, but it works fine. And the quality is fine.
So those of you on the live video, watching the recorded version of this video, Jake, you won't have seen it. JKK just made a voice call on the N5, and I took it here. So it's got the voice modem in it, and it's the what is that modem in there?
That's the Huawei. Was it W?
It's a W version. Isn't it?
7.
Yeah. Good. All right, let's close off part 2 of the Ustream recording. Thank you for watching. Hang around if you're watching live, because we're going into a part 3. So JKK Mobile and Chippy from UMC Portal with the Viliv N5.